Hello, my name is Jordan Davis. I'm a freshman at Texas Tech, and I will be researching the stress caused by exams of freshman students. It is known that many students experience stress during exams, and they are all affected by it differently. You can see stress in the forms of anxiety, loss of appetite, sleep deprivation, and many other forms. Stress in the past few years has risen a lot, especially after COVID.
In fact, rates of anxiety and depression among college students in the U.S. have soared in the past decade. There's more awareness of problems, risks, and diagnoses. And combined with the stresses of college life, schools are trying to figure out the right course of treatment, counseling, and intervention.
There isn't really a clear way to help students stress, but universities are trying their best to help. There are ways to help reduce the stress that is caused by exams, and Tech has many ways to help these students with their stress, as you can see from the video. You can request a stress management workshop, go to a student counseling center, or you can go to one of their sites about stress management that explains what stress is and how to deal with it. Some students can deal with stress and know what help to get for stress, but many don't really know how to cope with stress by themselves. For freshmen, stress is definitely something you will encounter, and you won't really know how to handle it right at the start. Many freshman students come into college unprepared for these exams and classwork and tend to develop bad habits that affect them negatively.
And kids more and more are very well prepared academically, but they're not prepared well for what we call social emotional intelligence or old-fashioned maturity, how to deal with risk, how to manage their lives, how to deal with ups and downs. And so many of them experience even temporary setbacks as catastrophic.
If a student were to get a bad grade on an exam, it could really affect them in a very distressed way. With exams, you can't retake them for a better grade, so that grade can make them feel down for a long period of time, affecting other things they do in their day. Texas Tech, being such a large institution, should definitely take stress from exams seriously, given the series of side effects that come with it.
Colleges around the country are reporting more cases of depression, anxiety, and suicide among students more than ever before.
As you can see, this stress is a major issue, and students reaching for help can have a great positive impact on them to help their stress out and their mental health. Freshman students, I could definitely see how stress can easily be developed to this new environment, having to do everything by yourself. The main thing, though, about exams and why they have such a big impact on students is that they take up a large percentage of students' grades, causing them to be more stressful in those times around their midterms and final exams.
The time leading up to a test is so laden with stress and anxiety because tests are high-pressure situations, and high-pressure situations can actually deplete your working memory and reduce your performance.
That realization can contribute heavily towards their stress. One of the biggest and most important changes for a freshman student to make is their daily routine. Depending on the student, they could be really busy dealing with outside factors that can take time away focusing on these exams and taking their mind off these exams.
One of the difficulties that a number of students can face, particularly around exam time, and that is a feeling of being utterly overwhelmed. And the thing is, life throws up its own challenges on a daily basis that we need to cope with. But you whack exams on top of that, and all of a sudden, the stress load can become almost unbearable.
Right now, I'm on the civil engineering track and taking 5 classes this semester. 3 out of my 5 classes have midterms, and 4 of them have a final. I do feel stressed at times working on schoolwork and having to study a lot for the exams. I know how to manage my time, but with all this work and studying, I rarely have time to relax or enjoy my time with friends. Because of this stress, I sometimes feel I don't get enough sleep, and I feel that I can't cooperate fully or concentrate fully. I also struggle trying to find enough time for me to study. To go more in depth, I will get different perspectives of other students by interviewing them and asking them questions about how exams are affecting their stress. What is your major?
My major is architecture.
I'm chemical engineering.
Biology. How many classes are you taking this semester?
7, I believe.
5 right now with 1 lab.
I am taking 5.
7. And then how many of them have midterms?
Like 5 of them.
5.
I think 3 of them have midterms.
I would say 15 at least.
And then how many have finals?
Ooh, I think 5 as well.
All of them have finals.
All of them has final.
Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you being successful?
I mean, I think so because not that many people notice, but at the end of the year, you're gonna cut half of the first year architecture students, so it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, it's 17-hour credit, so.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of pressure on me because my parents, they have a high expectation of me. Like, they're paying for it, and like I'm gonna have to start caring for like these classes because I can't just throw them away. It's not like high school where I can't just do that stuff.
Yeah, man. Now that you've experienced college, do you experience more stress compared to before college?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do, because like I have pretty much have to self-study.
100% for sure. Like, there's a lot of stuff I have to like worry about, like all the school, all the classwork, all the exams, and just everything.
Do exams make your stress levels rise?
A little bit. It's nothing too crazy.
Okay. Then in what ways?
I don't know. Just the fact that, if I have any other homework due that day, I kind of have to put it aside or do it early, just so I can study.
They definitely do, because like thinking about them, like sometimes I just like stop doing what I'm doing. Like, oh my god, I got exams, I don't know what to do. So usually I just like do nothing for a while.
How much do you normally prepare yourself for those exams? Like SI sessions, tutoring, or studying?
I'll just study on my own.
For exam weeks, pretty much like library is like my house, bro. Like, it's like at least 12 hours.
Why do you think exams make people's stress rise so much?
I'd say because like exams are like, they have like the highest percentage of like your overall grades, so there's incentive to like focus on that.
Or like they try to like perform well, but like sometimes the thing is just go at day one, so that's why it makes it really stressful.
For exams, you have to worry about studying and getting all the answers right, and also like affects your grade a lot, and probably really just decides your whole grade at the end of the semester.
And then does that help reduce your stress for those exams?
I'd say so, yeah. It makes you feel more prepared.
Okay.
It definitely does. Like last night, I didn't know anything about what we were doing for the exam, and then after like an hour, not even an hour, it was like 40 minutes of studying, I felt really confident.
And did you have stress like right before the exams, or like way before they came?
I mean, I'd say way before because, like, knowing me, I'm not going to study like a week in advance. I prefer to study maybe like a few days in advance just so I can,
Before they came up, usually.
Right before they came up, because like there was a thought in the back of my head like, oh, I got plenty of time to do this, and then the night before I'm like, damn, what am I gonna do?
Do you feel like the workload of schoolwork adds to your stress even with the exams going on?
I'd say a little bit, yeah. But like I said, I just try to like front load it and just do it early.
Yes, like even though I have exam, but like some of my professors just like give like some more extra work, so like sometimes it's like unmanageable,
I got the exams to worry about, and then I got all these projects to worry about. Like, it's just sometimes it's too much, but I break it down like piece by piece, get it step by step, and it becomes a lot easier for me.
And then how do you feel after your exams? Like good or even more stress?
I mean, it depends, but like all my recent ones, I've been feeling pretty good about.
After the exam, usually I'm gonna feel relief.
Okay.
Oh, I feel a lot better. Like, oh, I just took the exam. Like, I can rest for a bit. Like, I'm good now.
And overall, do you think exams have a great effect on your stress?
I wouldn't say a great effect, but like a good portion. Yeah.
Yes, it's one of the biggest major factor that contributes to my mental health.
Not really, but like they do take a lot of time for me. Like studying, preparing for it, and like even taking the exam, like can put some stress on me, but not too much.
For these 3 interviews, I can conclude that these students deal with stress caused by exams in different ways. Bernie, the first person I interviewed, is in architecture, and he is taking 7 classes and has many different projects he has due, and that his architecture classes take the majority of his work, and how he works hours on a project at a time. He has a good routine for himself, and he still does feel stressed over the amount of work he has while studying for the exams. Evan says he does he does deal with exam stress, but not as much because He has less work and less classes, and his major doesn't require him to take as many classes as Bermani's did. Henry also does deal with exam stress and says that they make a big impact on his stress. Overall, freshman students taking different majors go through differing amounts of work and take a different number of classes all year round. They do go through some similar experiences dealing with stress, but exams do deal with the main factor dealing with their stress. These interviews had common answers in how they have many other factors that contribute to their stress on top of the exam stress, and how exam stress affects them. I also surveyed other freshman students at Tech with various majors to ask about more questions relating to my topic about exam stress. I recorded about 45% of these students experience high stress levels, and 25 experience moderate stress levels on the regular. Then with exams, I recorded that their stress levels rose to higher levels. 55% had high stress levels and 45% had moderate stress levels. I noticed that the majority of the students' stress levels rose. Most of the reasons for this stress are caused by the work they receive in classes. I see why their stress rises when they have exams coming up, having to deal with studying, classwork, and other things that they have going on outside of school. I also noticed that most of these students also don't experience a lot of rest, which can also be affected by the stress and can create many more issues for them. I also recorded that the majority of the students are taking 5 or more classes, and all of them take midterm exams in either half of their classes or more than half of their classes. This can definitely cause a lot of stress, always trying to update your own agenda to where you can get work done with time to relax. Even though with a good routine, people can still feel overwhelmed and depressed from stress put on them. The results show very strong levels of stress, and I can only imagine their stress levels to rise when the final exam comes. This year at Tech, the majority of these students are struggling to get used to this new college life and getting comfortable with taking these exams. I understand that we are all getting used to this, but there are many more students that will be stressed if they don't develop a good plan for themselves and look for help when they need it. College stress is not something to joke around about because it could be very serious. Just know that you're not alone dealing with exam stress and that many people experience it. Being successful in college is easily doable if you are proactive, learn better study skills and habits, and create a more balanced life. I wish I could do more of these samples and interviews after everyone took their finals to see how their stress would rise even more, knowing that finals have the largest impact on students' grades. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned more about how exams have a big impact on stress to students at Texas Tech.